Hi, everyone. We'll wait a few minutes as people join, so just bear with me. For those of you who are just joining, we're just going to wait a few minutes before we start. We'll wait about 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Thank you guys so much for your patience. All right, so for the sake of time, we are going to get started. My name is Melissa Dubois, and I am one of the enrollment coordinators here at CIEE. If you're not familiar with CIEE, it stands for the Council on International Educational Exchange. Now, I'm not just a representative of the organization. I had the amazing opportunity to study abroad in Madrid, Spain, and I loved it so much that I ended up living there for 3 years. I'm super passionate about the study abroad topic. And, I had to fundraise as well to be able to make it a possibility. Tonight, we're going to go over the best practices for fundraising and give you guys some tips. But before we get into that, we also have some other members of CIEE joining us and alumni, if you guys want to take it over and introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Isis Jimenez, and I'm also a enrollment coordinator with the IEE, and I work in Florida and Georgia. And I'm super excited to be here with you all tonight. I'll be taking care of your questions through the Q&A. We will have the chat disabled, so please do ask us your questions through the Q&A, and we'll be curating the most voted ones for our alumni as well, who's right here with us. I'll pass it on to Alina.
Hi, my name's Alina. I had the pleasure of studying in Paris over the summer. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I can't wait to share more information on fundraising and any tips to go and study abroad.
Great, thank you so much. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll start the presentation. A little bit of background about CIEE. We've been doing this for over 75 years, sending thousands of students abroad to over 50 locations all around the world. And of course, accepting international students here in the United States. We're a nonprofit organization, so we don't do this for the money. We do it so students can get the most life-changing experiences. And you'll see firsthand from both Alina and myself how transformative these experiences can be and how beneficial they are for your future. We also have the largest scholarship fund for high school students. we give over $6 million each year in scholarship funding. So you can see on this page, as I mentioned, there are over 50 different locations all around the world. Now, CIEE is a big organization, so we have high school summer abroad, semester, trimester, gap year once you graduate. We have a new first year abroad as well that students can do in college. And we also offer Teach Abroad. So before I jump into some fundraising tips, I did want to go over what is included in the program tuition. So that would include accommodation or your living arrangements. For language and culture programs, students live in a host family. And for thematic or theme-based programs, students live in a dorm-style building or a hotel. 3 meals a day throughout the entire week would also be a part of the program. Both international medical insurance and travel insurance. All classes and cultural activities are included. So to give you an overview, students will have 2 to 3 hours of classes in the morning. Then they'll get to go out into the community and practice what they learned. And later on, they'll do different cultural activities such as sightseeing, going to different monuments or museums, maybe even taking a cooking class to learn how to make the popular cuisine of that country. So any activity that they do would be included in the tuition. Excursions are also a part of the program. And what I mean by that is on the weekends, students will have either a day trip or overnight trips to different parts of the country that they're in. And that's one of my favorite parts of the program because you get to see so much more of what the country has to offer besides the city that you chose. While abroad, the students will have a program leader there to support them 24/7. If they're ever sick, for example, they would take them to the doctor. So it's really nice to have that person to really guide you and make you feel comfortable when you're away from home. Transportation in country is another aspect of the program. So students will get a transportation card, which would give them access to, the bus, the metro, etc. An international phone plan is also included. So this could be through a SIM card or a physical phone. And I say both options because the newest iPhone 14 is not compatible with a physical SIM card. So in that case, we would give you a phone. This would give students a local phone number to be able to communicate in the country. And of course, they would have data and everything that they need. Students will have an orientation both online before they go and in person once they arrive. And of course, if you choose to opt into having a flight chaperone through CIEE, that would also be included. What is not included? So this is something that's really good to think about when you are fundraising. Airfare, so the flight to and from the country would not be included, as well as, passports or visas. Luckily, if you are a US passport holder, you would not need to get a visa, especially because most of our programs are less than 90 days. So now we're going to jump into fundraising. Why should students fundraise? So it's really a great way to invest in their abroad experience, to get excited for their adventure, and to really share their trip with the community. Of course, it'll help you cover different costs in a creative and satisfying way. You'll learn important lessons and gain experience in all aspects of fundraising. And the process of fundraising is not a way to get money for something you want. It is hard work and will help you connect with your community. I recommend to start as soon as possible. It's never too early. And today I'm really excited to go over these tips that we have for you. Afterwards, we will also share some helpful links for you. You can check out our fundraising toolkit on our website. So as you see on this slide, we have a little breakdown for you. The first step talks about identifying a mentor. So do you have a teacher, a coach, a school counselor, anyone in your community or your school who, motivates you, inspires you, or gives you advice? This would be the perfect person to ask for help in your fundraising project. You can get them involved in your plans and discuss the study abroad program that you're going on. The second tip would be to find a buddy. Many schools have lots of students that are interested in studying abroad, so you can collaborate with each other, support each other, and maybe even hold a joint fundraising event. Number 3 would be to set meaningful fundraising goals. So looking at the costs of studying abroad could be, a little overwhelming, but splitting this up and having a set plan can be super helpful. And then another thing I just want to point out would be to never give up. I know it can be frustrating saving money, but this is such a great process and it's so rewarding in the end. Number 4 says to craft your message. So in this case, as we mentioned, you can, discuss your motivation for going abroad and, really try to get others to support you in your cause. So here on this slide, you can see the testimonies of other alumni that have studied abroad with us. For example, the first person who went to Tokyo, Japan, says that they started babysitting, cleaning, helping family and friends with things around the house, and, even tutoring their children. Rebecca, who went to Italy, says that as the summer came closer, they decided to do a yard sale. I also did this to help, in my experience. I had my family, my neighbors, and friends bring items that could help me raise as much money as possible. And then you can see what Nathan said. He created a campaign in December when he received the amazing news. So GoFundMe is a website that, can go viral, for example. So you can post all about your study abroad experience and get friends, family, and many other people to donate to your cause. Here, you can see some more alumni. So Eileen wrote a very descriptive letter to all of her friends regarding her study abroad experience, discussing how it would benefit her, how much money she had earned in scholarships, and why the donation means so much to her. Another great idea that she did was she had a letter, for example, and then she bought a stamped return envelope so the person could do as little work as possible. You can also see Serena was able to get in contact with some local restaurants to organize some fundraising events as well. That's something that you may want to check out in your community to see if it would be possible. And Ania says that you should do something you're good at. She loves to cook, so she decided to make cake pops for people who love to eat. And then, of course, it looks like she sold them at her school. So that would be a great idea for fundraising as well. Now, Alina, you can take it over and you can talk a little bit about your experience.
Hello, I'm Alina, as Melissa mentioned. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm very proud to say that I participated in the French language and culture program with CIEE in Paris over the summer. They offer so many programs. This was one of my first picks because I really love Paris. I visited Paris before, and I really fell in love with the city. And CIEE not only made me feel so welcomed in Paris, but the fact that I got to explore the city even more and participate in certain daily events. For example, every day we would go somewhere new. We would go, for example, we went to the catacombs. We went and we made pastries, and it was so wonderful. And this is one of the reasons why I continue to support CIEE and why I urge other people to apply and go wherever people would like over the summer. And they offer so many programs. Sorry for the lack of images on the slide, but yeah, they offer so many opportunities, and I would like to go over some of the fundraising tips that really helped me over the past year. I, for example, applied for the Global Navigator Scholarship, and that certainly really helped. I got over $5,000 off, and without that, I think I would not go. But that scholarship really provided me with and my family with a lot of money, so I was able to go to Paris for virtually nothing except for some fees on flights, and then other than that, but it was wonderful. But you can also win scholarships, I believe, on certain flights, and but the Global Navigator Scholarship is very, very, I think a lot of people get it, if I'm not mistaken, but you can certainly apply for both. And yeah, something else that I wanted to say. There's a QR code somewhere, but
Yeah, I
yes.
can go to the next slide.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's. Thank you. So yeah, so many discounts. For example, the QR code that you see, if you scan it, you can get $200 off, and that certainly really, really helps, especially if you're applying for this upcoming year. Referral codes, that's a referral code. I was really thankful enough to receive a referral code last year as well, so what you're seeing is something that really helped me last year. My friend who told me about CIEE gave me a link that it virtually, I think this is for the application if I'm not mistaken, but it really, really helped, and I am very proud to share it with you guys because it's very helpful. Look for scholarships, as Melissa said. GoFundMe's are a great way, but as I mentioned before, the Global Navigator Scholarship really, really helped me. I think only I don't think I'm qualified because I'm a senior this year, but people who I think are 18 and under, if I'm not mistaken, can be granted a Global Navigator Scholarship. And I think that's all. Just apply for the Global Navigator Scholarship. Use the referral code, the QR code. Look for any scholarships that might be available to you. Just go on. There's so many websites that offer scholarships, but just a quick Google search that might say like, oh, scholarships and stuff. That really, really helps. I've received a couple scholarships like that. Email CIEE for any clarifying questions. Last year, it was a bit of a hassle because I had so many questions, but CIEE very much helped me. And then that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alina. So you can see her contact information here on this slide. I'll leave it up for a minute. All right. Now we did have another alumni, Lexi Rodriguez, who I don't believe is here with us tonight. So I'm going to leave up her slide and also share some more information with you guys. So as I mentioned, a lot of CIE participants fundraise to help pay for their program balance or flight costs. One of the best resources for finding non-CIEE scholarships is your school guidance counselor, for example. They should be able to share funding opportunities in your school or your community. If you belong to a church, a temple, any religious or community organization, I recommend to check to see if they offer any scholarships or extra funding sources. And as Alina mentioned, there are many different places online that would also be able to offer scholarships. A preliminary search on Google would give you an idea of what's out there. There is a good website that gives an overview of high school study abroad scholarships. It's called www.goabroad.com. Our fundraising page will also give you different ideas As I mentioned, we have a fundraising toolkit that I'll pull up shortly, which will give you practical tips and resources for students who are looking to raise their own money. There's also a video that you can check out on our website. I'll share that shortly, where a student shares how they raised $5,000 in just 6 weeks. So some more creative and effective ways to fundraise for your study abroad journey. As we mentioned, crowdfunding. So in the digital age, crowdfunding has been a powerful tool for individuals to, get as much money as possible with platforms such as GoFundMe and Kickstarter, allowing you to share your story, showcase your goals, and reach out to friends, family, and even strangers who believe in your dreams. So you can share this campaign on social media with friends and with family. Earlier, I discussed about business sponsorships, so you can reach out to local businesses such as restaurants, present your study abroad journey as an opportunity for them to contribute to the education and development of a promising student. In return, you could even offer, advertising space on your social media to promote their business. Other ideas would include a car wash. So you could set up a car wash in your community for a reasonable fee, or you could even accept donations rather than setting a flat fee for people to pay. Other side jobs could be babysitting. For example, I live on Long Island, New York, and there is a Facebook page for people looking for babysitters. So a simple search of the place that you live in and then babysitters may help you find, unique opportunities for different side jobs like that. Tutoring is another great opportunity, mowing people's lawns, or, it is that fall season. So maybe raking people's leaves and cleaning up their yards, pet sitting, dog walking, just things like that that could give you that extra push to make some more money. One thing that I remember that I did, there is a website called Poshmark where you can sell your clothing. So I was looking for items that I really didn't need anymore, and I was able to sell them on Poshmark, or maybe you could look into selling items on eBay as well. As we mentioned, businesses and restaurants, you may be able to partner with a local restaurant for a fundraising night, and maybe they can donate a percentage of the sales from customers who mention the school or the event. In my local community, Applebee's has been really great for, funding different opportunities. I'm a part of a youth soccer league, and we reached out to them. And in the morning on, weekend day, they were able to help us organize a pancake breakfast. And anyone who went in and mentioned, the soccer league, they would give, 60-40 back to us. So that was really nice. The holidays are also around the corner, so maybe you could set up a gift wrapping station, for example, at a local mall or a community center, maybe even at your library, and you could accept donations for wrapping people's presents. As you can see on this slide, Lexi mentioned that she did GoFundMe, she did a yard sale and a bake sale in her neighborhood, and I think it's really important to budget. So it's good to create a list and have an idea of how much money you would need for your program. She also mentioned to not spend money on unnecessary things, and you can see her contact information at the bottom. So if you apply by December 1st, you'll be entered into our raffle where you can hopefully win a free flight. As I mentioned, each year we give over $6 million in scholarships. So I will give a brief overview if you're not familiar with how they work. We have 2 different types of scholarships, or you could choose to direct enroll and save your spot in the program of your choice before other students if you have the financial means to do so and want to fundraise the rest of your trip. But back to scholarships. The first type is called Merit and Financial Need. It can cover anywhere from $500 to 100% of the program, not including flights, of course. Some components of the scholarship portion would be to answer 3 short essay questions telling us why you want to go abroad, for example. You would get a teacher recommendation. We would ask for a financial documentation called 1040, which basically tells us how many people live in your household and the annual income to help us determine how much aid to give you. Later on, you'd upload your academic transcript. Okay. And then the other type of scholarship that we have is called merit only, and that can cover $500 of your program. That one focuses on your academics or your grades. And the benefit of applying for that one would be that you find out your scholarship decision sooner than other students. So you would find out on a rolling basis within 1 to 4 weeks, for example, whereas in the first scholarship I mentioned, the merit and financial need, you would find out in February. I tell students, you might as well try to apply for a scholarship. You never know if you'll get one. And then in February, you can decide if you want to commit to the program. Overall, as you can see, we mentioned the flight promotion would be due by December 1st, but if you don't complete your application by that deadline, you have until January 24th. Here you can see a QR code. So each week we're holding different sessions that give you more information about our specific programs that we offer. It's called Virtual Fair. So I'll leave this slide up and you can scan the QR code. It's also available on our website. So I'll leave it up for about 10 seconds. You can also reach out to us by email. Our email is hsabroad@ciee.org, and we'd be happy to share more information with you there. You can also give us a call between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time at 866-583-0332. Now, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of our website. So once you get to our website, of course, you can do program searches, you can apply. If you select the scholarship tab and click fundraising, all of the information I just shared with you is here. This link, the student fundraising toolkit, is very helpful. And here you can watch a video of how another student raised over $5,000 in just 6 weeks. So here's a brief overview. Here it says you can ask family and relatives if you can use their frequent flyer mileage. Another great thing I forgot to mention. But going back up, I'm going to open the student fundraising kit. You can see the index here. Here's a little breakdown of how you can, plan your creative speech that you want to mention to people when you do try to promote and, get money for your program. Some quick ideas, an action plan. I definitely recommend you check out this page to get a better look since I am going pretty quickly. A lot of different templates that can help keep you organized as well. And then we will also share the link for that in the chat. Now, Isis, are there any other questions that you'd like me to get to at this point regarding fundraising or anything that I went over tonight?
I think I've covered everything for right now in terms of fundraising specific questions.
Perfect. Does anyone have any other questions before we wrap up tonight? I know it was a pretty quick session, but we'll give you back the rest of the time to enjoy your night. I'm going to open the chat here as well. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, you're more than welcome to head out. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. And I will stick around for the next few minutes just in case anyone has any other questions. I do see
Melissa?
2 hands up. I'm going to allow some people to talk, so we'll start with Kevin. See if we can unmute. Let's see. Looks like Kevin is on mute, but I do see Nadira. Are you able to, do you still have a question? If you do have
Hi,
any
can you hear
questions, you
me?
can, yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, oh, for some reason my AirPods stopped working. But anyways, I was just asking if I actually responded in the Q&A. So, but I was just asking if you could share the links for the resources that you just mentioned, the one that was like multiple pages that you went through really quickly. I think you said you were going to do that, but I don't see it. So I'm just
Yeah, sure. I can share that link right now.
okay.
As I mentioned, I'm just gonna also share my page again on here,
Okay.
just to give you a brief walkthrough of our page one more time. So once you type in, usually I type in CIE High School Summer Abroad on Google, it then would pop up to this page and you could go to scholarships and click fundraising. Once
Okay.
you do that, the link would be this student fundraising toolkit. So I'm going to share this general website. It should automatically take you to this fundraising page.
Okay. Is that the majority of what you showed towards the end? I
Yep,
might have
that's
missed.
everything
Okay.
that I showed on the end. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Do you guys see the links that I posted? All right. Well, other than that, like I said, if no one has
So,
any other questions,
Melissa?
you guys could head out. Yeah, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
just have some questions here about we have somebody saying that their school counselor didn't have any insight on the scholarships. So if you know, if you have any thoughts of who they can reach out to.
Yeah, so besides counselors, you could reach out to your main office. You could go to your principal to see if they have any connections as well. Or as I mentioned, you can, go to Google and do a preliminary search about different scholarships throughout, the world that are available. Sometimes your local library may also have some helpful information.
And then also, what was the website you said that you can sell things?
Yeah. Oh, that you can sell things. Poshmark, Poshmark. I think people mainly sell clothes on there. I'm not sure if you can sell other things. Clothing items, I should say. You could do shoes, purses, things like that. Are there any other questions? Kevin, I see your hand is still up. Did you have a question? All right, guys. Well, I'll stick around for 2 more minutes here in case anyone does have any other questions. You can, unmute yourself or you can write in the chat.
I don't see where you posted the link for anything. Did you? Did you do that or no?
I did write it in the chat. Isis, do you see it in there?
Yeah, so it's not in the
Let me
Q&A, it's in the chat.
let me see. I'll try to write it again. Does everyone see it now?
Yeah, I just had to refresh. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. All right. right. Well, with that being said, I am going to end this session. If you do have any further questions, you could feel free to email us. I'm going to post our email in the chat as well. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.